Good afternoon, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz with the latest roundup of sports today. We've got a lot of things to discuss, and we'll be, of course, introducing our guests, and then we'll move on to the lineup. First of all, in studios, I've been joined by former Test cricketer, ICC match referee, also part of the PCB management in various roles. And like I always say, whenever he's around, you get to know a bit of history and a bit of, on the technical side of cricket as well, you get a lot of knowledge. Colonel Noshad Ali is joining us. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you?
Oh, fine, sir. Thank you very much.
Great to have you on the show. We've also been joined by a person who has, of course, been involved in cricket. When you talk about cricket on the first class level, if you talk about cricket on the club level, if you talk about cricket on the analysis level as well, he's always there. And of course, a lot that he will be talking about today as well. Kashif Majid is joining us. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you?
Walaikum salam. Thank you.
Great to have you on the show. Long time.
Yeah, I was just building up my innings so that I come to the show.
Slow and steady.
Slow and steady.
Slow and steady. We're good to have these both gentlemen on the show. Time now to take a look at what we're discussing. First of all, we'll start off with the clean sweep. Pakistan have managed to do a clean sweep of the one-day international series against the West Indies. They won the final one-day international in fantastic fashion as well. I'll be honest, at a point I did think West Indies might just take the game away with that ambitious aggression that we saw, but wonderfully done by Shadab and the troops. How they were muscled by Babar Azam also speak volume of how he's enjoying the captaincy with confidence as well. But great series for Pakistan. They've gained those valuable points that we talked about. They've now improved their ranking on the ICC ODI championship as well. They're up where we wanted to see them as well. So the structure is that the top 8 teams will qualify directly for the World Cup, and the remaining teams will have to play the qualifiers. So Pakistan, of course, still have a couple of series left. They're playing the Netherlands, they're playing England, they're playing New Zealand, and they also have a series against Afghanistan. So they can still have those points that they need and finish in that top 8 that we're talking about. Nonetheless, we've got a fantastic side now, which we will be discussing in detail, and a bit of problems there in the middle order if we can address them before the World Cup. After that, we will be talking about Fatima Sana, who's received the commemorative cap for the ICC ODI Team of the Year. Fatima concluded 2021 as the leading wicket taker, taking 20 wickets in 13 games. Fatima, of course, also did well as a lower order batter as well. So she's been performing for Pakistan and, of course, an integral part of the Pakistan women's setup as well. Congratulations to Fatima. And, of course, we'll be discussing this in detail. How important is it when you've got recognition on the international level for our women cricketers? How long will it go to actually, create role models and create examples for younger girls to follow as well? Then, of course, Gilgit hosting its first ever international boxing tournament, which had a great crowd in attendance. Athletes from 10 countries who are participating in this historic event. Event featured 3 title fights, but the highlight was fight night, fight card. Asif Hazara winning the super flyweight title in superb fashion. That's what we're discussing on today's show. First of all, we'll start off with the fact that Pakistan has managed to win the series against the West Indies, and a very important series as we talk about it as well. So, sir, first of all, concluded in spectacular fashion. Everything went according to plan, and of course, great to see the Multan crowd in huge numbers.
As I said in the previous sitting, that Multan is one of those places which are very, very hot. And they're lucky to have this new stadium there available now. And there's all the modern facilities. As I said earlier, last time when the West Indian came, Brian Lara was with them as a mentor, as a manager. So I was lucky to have worked with him as a media in charge and administration. What I'm trying to say is that Multan is no more a city where the cricket is not flourishing. It is flourishing, and you can see the example, the crowd coming in the temperature 140, 145 and watching the game. The moment that time passes and the evening comes, the capacity crowd was there in the stadium. Very good sign. Congratulations to Multanis for doing all this. Now coming back to the cricket now, yeah, of course, it's a wonderful performance by Pakistan, and a lot of interest has been created by ICC by introducing this sort of test championship, then ODI championship as well. And I think it's Pakistan, they have been a champion of ODI they must certainly qualify, should qualify for without any competition, further competition, straight to the main tournament.
Absolutely, sir. That's what we hope.
About the Pakistan team, yes, of course, they have performed exceptionally well. They are well united unit now. Every player I have seen, they've been talking to each other, they've been appreciating each other, and then the management is encouraging them from all point of view. That's a good sign, and the result is that Pakistan has whitewashed the West Indies, which was the basic requirement for them.
Absolutely. Just to gain those important points, what we talk about. Kashif bhai, first of all, I think the aspect of the series in Multan, people coming out in huge numbers, even defying the heat to an extent. And then, of course, the impact of this series from Pakistan, because the body language of all of these players was phenomenal.
I think first of all, talking about the Multan crowd, that's very heartening to see because when we talk about cricket in Pakistan, we talk about last PSL, it's just Karachi and Lahore. Before that, it was Rawalpindi. So the cities like Multan, Peshawar, the people there, they wanted to have cricket, international cricket or PSL or something like that, which they can go and cheer about and they can see their international stars. I still remember T20, national T20 played at Faisalabad. The amount of crowd, the capacity crowd in a national T20 is so heartening to see. So most probably what I try to say is Pakistan Cricket Board is in the shape of extending venues to different places. And also it's important that just not the Karachi and Lahore or even the Rawalpindi, it is the time that we can go about and find out new places so that the people all around the Pakistan can see their stars performing in different. Second important thing when it comes to the Pakistani lineup, series in Pakistan in their home condition, there is always a chance of giving an opportunity to a youngster. In this series we've seen Haris. In this series, we have seen Shahnawaz Dhani. So, two more ODI debutants for Pakistan. That means more competition for all those guys who have not been selected. For example, let me tell you, Iftikhar was on the benches and he has done nothing wrong to be on those benches for Pakistan. But just because Haris has played some exceptional cricket in PSL, he got the chance. Second important thing, we've been seeing Shahnawaz Dhani for for a long time. For the last two PSL, he's the star. He's played T20 cricket and a good amount of T20 cricket for Pakistan and a very consistent performer in the T20 cricket. So he was vouching for that chance. He was looking for that chance and he got that chance. So the bowling lineup, just imagine. Maybe we are talking about Zaman Khan entry into the side. Maybe we are considering, some more faces who are in the race of becoming Pakistan plate, but one got the chance. That is Shahnawaz Dhani. The lineup which we have got 9 to 10 fast bowlers who are regularly bowling at 140 plus. That is extending. That is heartening. The middle order, you've said the dilemma we are facing, it's extending now. So we have got options to pick. And this is very good for Pakistan cricket.
Absolutely. So that's great to see that when you've got a good bench strength coming, the captain is very comfortable as well. Yeah. I like the fact that in the second game we rested Hassan Ali, brought in Wasim Jr. In the third game we rested Shaheen Shah Afridi and then brought in Hassan Ali back as well. So these changes actually mean that even the captain is now confident because he's got a pool of players to try out.
Well, certainly, Babar Azam gradually, now he's in complete command of the team in all respect. Whether this is from the batting point of view, the bowling, or even the fielding. I have seen him then running around about 50 yards and appreciating the player. That is something very, very good on the part of Babar. Apart from that, what I have seen in this third match, the ODI, the Shadab Khan, we were missing him all the time. Because he is a wonderful cricketer. He's got all the elements. He is one of those who is flying in the air to take a catch. But certainly he was out of the game just because he was injured. It was because of the fitness problem. In this performance, where he has been the man of the match, scored runs, got the wickets, now he is back on the saddle. And I'm pretty sure that he will go a long way if he keeps his fitness. And that's a good sign for Pakistan as well. There are others also who perform very well.
Imamul Haq, sir.
Imamul Haq, of course, you see. Imam, I think we will discuss 1 or 2 minutes on this. Imam is one of those, he's gradually come up. He is one of those, initially he was not very aggressive. Now if you see, he's been not only hitting the four through the cover, through the gaps, but also placements are extremely good. I mean, look at him. I mean, he stays at the page. He gives sound support to the other one who is trying hard, and then does the placement and just changing over after 1 or 2 runs. That makes him, and within no time he completes 50, and that is the reason he has completed so many 50s in one go as well. So he's the welcome sign. He should stay in the Pakistan team for some time, and if he does well, he should be tried in all the formats.
Absolutely. Kashif, a bit about Shadab Khan, out due to injury. People started talking about the ability, whether that amount of spin was there left in him, that wrong one, was it effective anymore? But he's a special talent. The way he's made a comeback, even with the bat, as he's developed his ability, he becomes a very important option for Pakistan.
The moment Islamabad United asked him to step up as a captain, that changed Shadab Khan so much. He wanted to bat. He wanted to prove himself as a worthy all-rounder. He was doing consistently at the club level or even the domestic level when he was playing for the Rawalpindi or juniors under 19s. So he wanted to prove his worth as a batsman. He got the chance with Islamabad United. Fortunately for him, that move of him coming up top of the order pays off. So there was a point to prove to the Pakistani selector that he can bat. We all know he's a quality fielder wherever you placed him in the outfield, in the circle. He's an exceptional fielder. The important thing was his injury he was carrying. Also to him, on a critical side of it, let me tell you one thing. Now when we talk about this unit, they're all buddies to each other. There is no second group, there is no second lobby
Yes.
in that current team. Let me tell you one thing, Babar Azam has played his entire career with Imamul Haq. So they know each other, and we have seen the way they have managing their partnerships, like 10 or 7 to 800 plus partnership in the recent times. The person next to Babar Azam right now in the Pakistani lineup may be Shaheen Shah Afridi or Rizwan, which can actually challenge Babar Azam to some extent, and both of them are good buddies to the Babar Azam. So this whole team is gelled in very well, and when the team is gelled in, the person who is not performing, that person can come up with some exceptional performances. I want to put a case of Hassan Ali. Everybody in the team or some ex-players are consistently talking positive about Hassan Ali. He is a match winner. Head coach Saglan Mushtaq headline, he is a match winner. Wasim Akram, ex-captain, the greatest left-arm fast bowler. Hassan Ali is a match winner. Please uska picha chhod do. These are his words. So this is one unit which we are looking for so many years, and at the end of the day, we have got one.
Absolutely. I think it's a very important point, particularly about Hassan Ali. Sir, I know he's been through a tough time even after the World Cup. Made one of the best comebacks I've seen through domestic cricket. Now there is a struggle which is visible. We understand that, but there is a lot of confidence from the captain and the management towards Hassan Ali.
Certainly, I mean, this is the third time he has come back to the team. I mean, performing in the domestic, performing internationally, and then supported by everybody else, as he said. But Hassan Ali, I think now he has to work extra hard on his fitness. I mean, he's the one who is to clock about 140 kilometers, 135 kilometers, but it has come down now. He should work on that. And secondly, his real trial will come when he play against English batsmen. And then there you will see how he performs so well. So he has to prepare himself for that. And similarly, there are others also who should work very hard. The Pakistan team's real test will come when they will play against England. They should be mentally prepared for it. And the selectors, the management, they should plan accordingly.
Absolutely, sir. Yes, please.
Just going through the highlights, I've seen Khushdil Shah bowling his left-arm spinner. He was no way a left-arm spinner even in the domestic cricket.
Credit to Rizwan.
Credit to Rizwan. This is what I'm saying. When a person in the team, he's confident about his place in the team, he's a star to the team, he can make stars out of nowhere. Khushdil Shah is a star by virtue of Rizwan's excellent captaincy in Multan Sultan. Even 2 years back when Khushdil Shah made his debut, he was an only player who can slog towards mid-wicket and square leg and most probably longer, and that's it. He can do nothing more. But what happened was in the recent PSL, there was lot of confidence given by Rizwan to Khushdil Shah, even to Shah Nawaz Dhani. So what he gained that confidence, he become a slightly better batsman, a very useful.
And he likes a challenge. He
likes
wants
a
to go in a place where the strike rate and required rate is
Second
above.
important thing, he becomes a good fielder and he becomes a very good left-arm spinner because he got that confidence going on in the national setup from one of the very important player of this lineup, that is Rizwan.
Absolutely.
So this is what every player in the team wanted. Whenever he is coming back from injury, layoff or making a debut, that is something he wanted. A senior member of the side came up to him, have a his arm on his shoulder and say, just go and blast.
And that's what he did. Yes, sir, you'd like to add.
Just one
Yes,
word
sir.
about Khushdil Shah. I mean, why he is so effective? People used to think that he will have a round-arm action. He was doing that in the Qadi-Azam Trophy and another ODI tournament. But he has little bit of change in the action. It's a quick action, low trajectory, which is very difficult for a batsman to pick up for slogging at the tail end. And there he is very, very effective.
And sir, also about the fact that people are now saying that he will be the finisher that Pakistan need, somebody
Of
who
course,
finishes games.
I mean, he's the one. I mean, rightly he said so. Initially, he was planning to hit on the middle, on the mid wicket or on the long on. But now he's executing all sorts of shots.
Definitely, that is the case. But talking about individual performances, there have been so many to appreciate. I think another one that we need to talk about is Mohammad Nawaz sir and his role in the side as well.
I mean, you call him Billah
Yes,
in
sir.
the team, but certainly he is a genuine all-rounder. I'll say he's a very good fielder, and I'll say he's a planner as well. I mean, he goes and talks to the captain, talks to the wicketkeeper, and then exchange his ideas as well. But I think the way he bowls, I mean, he can watch the batsman till the last moment, and he drops his length accordingly. He drops his spin accordingly. He drops his speed accordingly. So I think he's a very, very effective left-arm leg spinner, and above on that, a brilliant fielder, and of course a planner as a batsman as well.
Kashif, you'd like to add about Nawaz, another case where he's a player has come back from injury recently.
And another case where a player is playing with his friends now. There was a time we have seen Imad Wasim playing his majority cricket under the captaincy of Sarfraz, with whom he has played the Under-19 World Cup. So Imad Wasim is a very good friend with Sarfraz and all those guys are playing at that moment. So there was always a case of picking one, either Nawaz or Imad Wasim. Imad got always that chance. I don't want to say, but Imad Wasim have been the captain of Karachi Kings, where Rizwan didn't prosper as well, and we have seen so many things in the media, but Rizwan is now one of the pillars of team, so most probably, and the vice captain Shadab belongs to the same club, I guess Nawaz is playing. So this is where things, people, circumstances is very important for a player's performance.
Especially
it's just
a
not
captain.
about, especially captain. If I can say from a distance, even sitting here, that the majority of the decisions right now in the final 11 have been taken by Babar Azam, Rizwan and Shadab. So we have like looking the players around them who've been playing with them for years now, and they're performing exceptionally. It's just not the case of picking your friends. It's the case of picking your best buddy, but asking him to do the best and taking the best out of that person. Imamullah scoring 6 consecutive half centuries. So he's among those greats who have scored already. Javed Mirdad has scored 9. Fakhar Zaman averages 48, 49 at the top of the order. Then Babar Azam 50 plus. Then Rizwan, coming out of age, is performing, scoring runs, and then goes on the list.
Absolutely.
So everyone knows that there is a person sitting in the bench. If we are not able to score the runs, that this person will take our place. So I think the atmosphere, the conditions, the surrounding, the people in charge of the team, they're very positive.
So internal competition helps. If I know that there is a guy who can take my place, I will be looking to perform exceptionally well on every occasion.
You call it dressing room atmosphere. I mean, if that's suitable for anybody, I mean, then the things prosper, things become so very easy. And what's been the nucleus? Nucleus is always there, whether it is 1970 or it is 2020. A nucleus in the team is always there. That nucleus works out. I mean, they could be friends, they could be professional cricketers, they could be good buddies. That's there. But the professionalism should be there. And I think there are quite a few cricketers in the present lot who are real professional. And I'll name one of them is Shaheen Afridi. I mean, I look at him as a future captain as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, obviously he's got those leadership abilities now, leading to Lahore Qalandars in their first ever PSL victory. Took them 7 seasons, of course, but Shaheen, the way he led was absolutely exceptional to see. But I like the fact that Pakistan Cricket Board and the captain realized that Shaheen also needs to be given some rest as well. That's a good change.
Definitely is. It's not just the Pakistani management. Shaheen himself don't want to, be given a rest at times. He always wanted to play each and every game, which is not possible under these circumstances. Second important thing, we are talking about the captains. 4 of the PSL captains have been part of this current chapter. Shaheen Afridi led Lahore Qalandars to the glory. He is part of that group. So does Shadab Khan, excellent captain for Islamabad, he is part of that group. Rizwan, Multan Sultan, last year champions, he is part of that group. Babar Azam, yes, I know for the fact that Karachi Kings didn't do well in the last 2 seasons, but he is the captain of that team, also the captain of Pakistan. So all these guys who have got that ability to think out of the box, they're part of this friendship group, they're part of each other, they are performing exceptionally well, and they're supporting and helping each other. So that is where I think this team is going forward.
Absolutely. That's very important to see that what your approach is. We've often talked about in Pakistan that we don't plan for the future. Right now, if we see a team and a younger lot that has got a future ahead of them, how do we manage to take them as well? And one prime example where we are seeing players fitting into this structure recently being, of course, Shahnawaz Dhani debuted, but Mohammad Wasim Jr. has fit into this structure very well, sir.
What a wonderful cricketer. I mean, he looks like a fast bowler.
Yes.
Gutsy fast bowler. I think he is one of those found. He should be in the team to stop the run, to take the wickets. That's the basic.
A bit slingy as well, sir, but actually delivers.
But the only thing what I want, he should little bit more improve his speed, which is at the moment is 140, 142, 43. He should, with the age and the fitness and the type of structure which he has, he should go about 150 as well.
Absolutely. There are 2 very particular cases where I see that Wasim has got a brilliant line in length. Of course, he needs to better his pace, as Sir said. And at the same time, we've got Haris Rauf, who's got the pace, but he needs to work on line and length. So 2 different cases.
No, Haris, there is always a background to a player. When we talk about Haris Rauf, we know he loves the challenge of stopping the hard-hitter batsmen to scoring, bowling at the depth. Bowling 4 overs of T20 cricket. So he started as a cricketer when he was called in the squad in the PSL in Lahore Qalandars. So from now he is developing himself as a bowler who can bowl different spells, variations, spells, length, longer spells in the 4-day cricket. So he'll be get used to bowling to different lengths. Whereas Wasim, yes, he started from PSL, but the background Wasim has got, he have played some domestic cricket and some 3-day matches. So as a 3-day bowler who have bowled in the 3-day match, you have got different length and different variations. So this is the background of any cricketer coming into the squad, from which background, from which sort of cricket he is coming into the Pakistani lineup. Unfortunately, let me tell you about Haris. Unfortunately, he has scored in T20 as an opener, where he can use the circle, where he can use different strokes of his. And just because we wanted him to be part of this lineup, we asked him to bat at 5 in a 1-day cricket match. That will not help Haris. Yes, we know for the fact that when it comes to the T20 and the top, as a top, numbers, or the, as an opener, we have got Babar Azam and Rizwan perfectly fitted for that number, and Haris won't get the chance. But still, we can ask, or we can wait for a while and ask Haris to be part of a T20 match. rather than the one-day match.
Let's shake his confidence. The guy will think in the future, I scored a duck on my debut.
And it's just not about is his confidence.
Yeah.
It's about all those critics who are going through his numbers in the domestic cricket and evaluating those numbers to the lead up to the one-day side.
Absolutely.
There are so many people who have got better numbers than his domestic. Yes, we know about the talent he has got, but this talent has to transform in the domestic arena with the statistics.
Absolutely.
So maybe we have rushed through Haris. We don't want to lose this chance of playing in Pakistan against the West Indies.
Debut.
But still, yes, we just give him the debut.
Give him a debut. Just get that done before you have another case where people start asking you questions, will be the case. But the middle order, and when we say the middle order, I think that position at number 5 is something that Pakistan really need to work on. We've got a World Cup coming in conditions similar to Pakistan. What we're hoping for, are we going to go back to experience? Are we going to look for a domestic performer as well? So that is a prime case right now, because there is a debate where you've got, if you look at experienced options outside the squad, you've got Sarfaraz and Shoaib Malik. If you look at the top domestic performers, top 5 of them in the Pakistan One Day Cup, 2 or 3 of them were openers. So you need to find that middle order strength, experience, where you can bat long, because we have seen sort of a collapse that if Shadab had not handled would have been a problem for Pakistan.
Well, I can only say that I've been the chairman of the selectors. For this sort of problem, where you have the different opinions for the different players, as you said, we experience versus the youngsters. I mean, this should be debated. Debated for each individual. For example, Shoaib Malik. Yes, of course, he is above 40 now. But he has got the fitness, he has got the talent, he has the experience. Same goes to Sarfaraz. But there is a time for the player to say goodbye, and I think the time has come for that.
So if the player is not saying goodbye, then
they may not say, but the selectors are the best judge. I mean, they have to plan. And now you see how much time is left. It's a year or so.
Absolutely.
And within a year, you have to have 1 or 2 players for the middle order, and you should look for those players, give them fair chance. Even if they fail, you give them the chance, and that is what the strategy is. And out of 3 or 4, the 2 best performers should be picked up automatically.
Absolutely, that is the case. Kashif, players are not saying goodbye. Hafiz said goodbye at a very good point. He realized that he's no longer needed in the Pakistan setup. He said goodbye. Shoaib Malik didn't. Maybe he had the hunch of playing another World Cup for Pakistan, maybe 2, a T20 and a 50 over. God knows what Babar Azam's plans are, but that number 5 spot needs to be filled.
I think going through Shoaib Malik's case, let me tell you about Mahendra Singh Dhoni. He wanted to get retired from the cricket in 2016-17, where he hung up his captaincy and said, Virat Kohli, you are ready. It's Virat Kohli's choice that he wanted Mahendra Singh Dhoni to be around him so that he gets to learn the art of captaincy. Going through 2018-2019, where Virat was the captain and Dhoni was the wicket-keeper batsman, just playing as wicket-keeper batsman, the moment came in a match where a crunch situation comes in, it's Dhoni who's captaining the side and Virat is, placed himself a long on, mid-wicket, somewhere like that. It's Dhoni continuously talking to the bowlers. It's Dhoni continuously talking to the players around in the circle, So maybe there is a case of Babar Azam wanted to learn the art of captaincy from Shoaib Malik. Just going through Shoaib Malik's one of the statement in a tweet he said, or somewhere like that, I am in constant, communication with Babar Azam. I'll hang up my boot whenever Babar Azam says. He's the guy who is asking me to play certain tournaments and not to play certain tournaments or matches. So this is the case of a captain needing a senior player in the side to anchor some of the innings. Most probably for me, the T20 World Cup is the last tournament Shoaib Malik wanted to play. And most probably that is the last thing every Pakistani wanted to see. So this may be the case.
Kashif, I'll just interrupt you. We'll go towards a short break, but we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Okay.
Welcome back to Sports Extra. Before the break, we were talking about Pakistan's clean sweep of the one-day international series against the West Indies and improvement in the ODI championship as well, and also the fact that we've got some individual performances to celebrate as well, and of course appreciate them at the same time, and also the captaincy where Babar Azam has truly led from the front. And I think hats off to the PCB as well, where the Pakistan Cricket Board is giving that confidence to the captain to call the shots. I think things are changing, and they're changing for the better. So great signs for Pakistan cricket ahead. But great signs also on the women's side as well, because we also need to appreciate that FATIMA Sana has received the commemorative cap for the ICC ODI Team of the Year. She concluded 2021 as the leading wicket taker, taking 20 wickets in 13 games, and also did well as a lower order batter as well. So very, very, it's a positive sign, very positive, a good omen to see when you've got positive performances being appreciated on the international level as well. That's how you create heroes. So it's a great moment for women's cricket to appreciate as well.
Yes, certainly, very, very great moment. I mean, Pakistan women's cricket, it started only about 2-3 decades back.
Sir.
And it has come up so well now. Girls are playing on the street, on the ground. They are playing international cricket, and they're not only playing, but they're winning also. They beat West Indies recently. Now you have seen there was a grouping within the women's cricket that has all been slashed now,
Yes.
sorted out by cricket board. And now there's some money also coming into the players. There's some money pumped up by the Pakistan Cricket Board for the women's. And I'm pretty sure that the way it is going on, there will be more and more attraction for the girls to play cricket. And it is an attraction now. You see, there are young girls they are talking about playing cricket, and they're doing something good for them. I give you one example. I mean,
Sir, please.
My granddaughter,
Sir.
she lives in Scotland. I mean, she's been a wicketkeeper. I was a wicketkeeper.
It's in the blood.
Yeah. So it is inspiring thing is that when they see the senior girls getting something like she got it here, the others will also follow them, and they also copy them.
Absolutely lovely to see. And I think it's all about that confidence. But Kashif, we need role models to inspire these young girls to follow. Because on the men's side, growing up, everybody wanted to be a Wasim Akram, a Waqar Yunus, or a Shoaib Bakhtar, or a Saeed Anwar, or a Shahid Afridi, Yunus Khan, Mohammad Yusuf. We had role models. But if you talk about it on these girls' side, they need heroes to look up to as well.
Definitely, they need heroes as well as now. But it's just not about the motivation to play. That I wanted to be someone. The second important thing, and most probably the most important thing, is the amount of financials you are getting for playing playing Pakistan when it comes to the women's cricket. And certainly they are getting now some good amount. That passion is becoming sort of profession for the girls too. We've seen some departmental cricket. There are certain departments who have the women's teams. Now we have seen them playing in UAE at franchise T20 cricket.
Absolutely.
Some of the
Yes,
Pakistani
fair
players
break,
were
yes.
there. So this is where Pakistani women have to learn the art of playing with the rest of world, to compete with the rest of world, and they'll eventually get to it. Second, for me, the most important thing, living in Islamabad, federal capital of the city, we have not seen girls going for the nets with the boys at the common places. The best part of your learning experience is you get this place where you can play with a person which is better than your skill set. So the moment they go to the clubs where they have to face a medium pacer bowler, a good off spinner, a left arm spinner, they'll enhance their skill set. So this is still not in our culture. Even in the Islam, we have not seen a single girl going to a place where he can play with the boys. I think there is a place in F8 where 4 to 5 girls or 7 to 8 girls are playing with each other. But eventually, the benchmark they have got there will be a domestic player.
Absolutely.
So we need some international players coming to the cities, big, small, everywhere, where they can go regular to the nets in the evening and inspire other girls to come and have a go as a professional cricketer.
Absolutely. That would be the case. Kashif and Colonel Saab, thank you very much for joining us. Always great having you. But one thing is for sure, congratulations to Fatima Sana, congratulations to Pakistan Women's Cricket and the PCB. Of course, it's all about creating that enabling environment. And when we've got things improving at the helm of affairs on women's cricket, be it infrastructure-wise, be it salary-wise, be it the consistency that we need for these players to perform as well, I think we need to now focus on our grassroots levels, because if we create that enabling environment and infrastructure, and especially develop that interest on the school, colleges and university levels as well, and I think that's the case where we see a lot of talent coming up for women's cricket. Now moving on to some great news for Pakistan before we go. It is of course phenomenal as well. I think when you talk about boxing, already a fantastic sport in Pakistan, a lot of following, a lot of our boxers have been making us proud, but this time it was the land of Gilgit-Baltistan, the scenic and beautiful land of Gilgit-Baltistan, which hosted its first ever international boxing event. A lot of boxers participated from 10 countries. We had boxers participating. A lot of fights were there as well. 3 title fights to be exact, and of course in the main fight card we had Asif Hazara winning the flyweight title as well. Great scenes. I think that's how you promote boxing, when you take it to every nook and corner of the country, and not just take it there but have international tournaments there as well. So before we leave, we've got this very special report that will show you about this international boxing event in Gilgit-Baltistan, and we'll join you tomorrow once again. From me and the entire team, it'll be goodbye for now.
Gilgit-Baltistan, the north of Pakistan, encompassing some of the world's most beautiful natural landscapes, hosted its first ever World Boxing Association's tournament in a bid to promote sports in the region. Athletes from 10 countries including Malaysia, Thailand, South Korea and the Philippines took part in the tournament. The event was organized by Pakistani boxing champion Usman Wazir with the support of the Force Command Northern Areas. There were 3 title fights, while the other 7 fights were world ranking fights. This was marked as the biggest boxing competition in the history of Pakistan. Muhammad Asif Hazara won the Super South Flyweight title of World Boxing Association in the International Professional Boxing Festival. Meanwhile, another Pakistani boxer, Usman Wazir, also won the World Boxing Association Asia Welterweight title. President Dr. Arif Alvi, in a statement congratulating Muhammad Asif, said that the youth of Pakistan have a lot of talent in the field of sports. He also added that the youth can further shine the name of the country with encouragement and better training.